how to connect the modes in the competitive global marketplace, how to provide what is needed, when it's needed, where it's needed, whether it's moving goods or people. That's the focus of the Intermodal Transportation Institute at the University of Denver.
ITI at Denver helped me because it helped me realize the whole transportation network and not just the piece that I work in, which is rail. It made me a better leader because I feel like I'm more exposed to the global economy. I get the bigger picture now instead of just our narrow little piece. It helped me realize that the global transportation and the global economy all comes together and that we truly are a supply chain, and how well each of us do our jobs and how we bring it together, it impacts all of us. You know, the goods we buy, the things we want, transportation moves it all.
I was invited to be part of the Intermodal Transportation Institute, and I thought, why would I do that? These are the freight guys. It was an extraordinary experience for me because I began to realize that with slightly different language changes, we're talking about the same things. We're talking about moving things and people. We're talking about rights of ways. We're talking about roadways. We're talking about infrastructure. We're talking about capacity problems. We're talking about all of those safety issues. All of the issues we're talking about are the same.
The great strength of the course from our perspective, which might not be the same for everyone else, but from our perspective, is that you are meeting some of the big players in the world, some of the big rail companies, which is very different. There's very little rail in Asia. There's very little rail in Australia. Most is road or sea. So to have a perspective from some of the biggest rail companies in the world is fantastic for us. It gives us different thinking.
When you have the Transportation Secretary of Canada and the Transportation Secretary of Mexico, you also have Lynn Fox, who's one of the biggest transportation gurus in Australia, and not to even mention of all of the CEOs of all the transportation companies here in the United States. When you bring that many people together, you can't have anything but something great to come out of that.
I'm meeting at the University of Denver people who can make a difference in my business. You know, I'm meeting people who represent the railroad industry in general. So if I want to talk about how high-speed rail might impact the freight business, I've got somebody there who can actually give me the real answer.
I would definitely say it was unlike any other educational experience I've had because you're really learning from someone that's up there living it every day and dealing with all the issues that all of us are going through as a company. So you're dealing with people that are out there in it right now, dealing with regulation, dealing with policy, dealing with all the issues that all of us are dealing with in our daily lives at work. That's pretty enlightening, that you're not just getting book knowledge, because we can all sit down and read a book and go from there. But when you have someone in front of you that's telling you how it's been for the last 10, 20 years and where they see things going the next 10 or 20, you know, they can tell you where they've been, where they think we're headed, and ideas or things they've done in the same situation. So it's a great opportunity.
I think all education is imperative to survive in the business world. A really important part of how we promote people in our business is education, showing more commitment to learn things, to be different, to broaden your thinking. And what was good, that they would speak to me and say, are you getting value out of it? How are your people performing? Can they be promoted? Because in the end, when I send people here, I want to promote them. I want to give them a bigger job, but I want to get more out of them too.
Until I went to ITI, it's really kind of put all the pieces together and you're just like, wow, I'm a part of this. I'm a part of this huge supply chain and the global economy, and look what a difference we're making every day.
It's just amazing that it changed your whole way of thinking about transportation in general.
I think most of the University of Denver ITI students walk away with a much clearer vision of the future, and they're the ones that are going to make that future.
The world changes so much. You think about what's happened over the last decade globally. You think about what may happen in the next decade globally. To think today that I'll have enough skills to be a CEO of a multinational company in 10 years is nonsense. I'll have to go back again.
When you need to hone skills even further, look to the Intermodal Transportation Institute at the University of Denver. Cutting-edge education for effective transportation solutions worldwide.